What's good, Lakers Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Lakers Corner, where we talk all things Lakers. If you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button to join the family. If you're a returner, you already know what it is, man. So unfortunately, y'all, our season did end, so I am not here to do the typical game reviews, film breakdowns that I usually do. But on the fortunate side, Darvin Ham did get fired. So that means that Lakers Nation, we are now officially on the hunt for a new head coach. And over the last couple of days, I've heard a lot of rumors flying around about names. I've heard of a lot of first-time head coaches, some experienced head coaches. So what I want to do in this video, y'all, is talk about some of those candidates and get into some pros and cons for each of those candidates. And at the end, I will tell y'all who your boy wants most. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. First coach that we got here is Coach Mike Budenholzer, Coach Bud. Look, check it out, y'all. So Coach Bud has a solid resume, right? Like if you're just looking at on paper resume, and coaching is much more than just looking at on paper, but if you're looking at his resume, it includes a championship as a head coach with the Milwaukee Bucks, and he was also a part of the Spurs staff when they won 4 championships. So if you count all those, you're looking at his resume, 5 championships on the resume, only 1 as a head coach. But however, though, the question with Coach Bud, there's a lot of questions with Coach Bud. The first question with Coach Bud is his playoff adjustments. He is just one of the most stubborn and hard-headed coaches that just refuses to make adjustments, doesn't always have the greatest defensive strategies. I don't feel like he's a defensive-minded coach. That drop coverage that he ran with Brook Lopez kind of almost got him fired, them going on and winning a championship. Shout out Giannis for that. Kind of saved his career, and he still ended up getting fired, moving on. But my biggest concern and my biggest question with Coach Bud is the fact that, Darvin Ham was an assistant under Coach Bud. So essentially, they kind of run the same philosophy, kind of have the same coaching style, and we saw what just happened with Darvin Ham. So Coach Bud is an option out there, not my favorite option, but let's keep it pushing though, y'all. Next coach that I've heard out there as well is a veteran NBA coach, and that is Terry Stotts, man. Played in the NBA for a little bit, y'all. He actually got drafted to the Rockets back in the day, but was never able to actually stick around in the league. It's a tough thing, you know. I'm not holding it against him, but it is a tough thing. But he did have a 13-year head coaching experience with multiple teams, and most famously known for the 9 years he spent in Portland with Damian Lillard. He is an offensive-minded coach, so if we do go with Terry Stotts, we got to remember that our roster has to complement his coaching philosophy and his coaching style. And anytime I talk about Lakers head coaching, I always talk about the fact that your players have to match the philosophy that your coach is going to coach like. For example, I'll give you all an example. In 2020, when the Lakers had Frank Vogel as a head coach, Frank Vogel is a clear defensive-minded coach, and in that year, in 2020, the Lakers had a flat-out defensive menace team. We had great perimeter players. We had Avery Bradley. We had Rondo, who's a genius on the defensive end, but in the paint, we had the Air Force, man. We had Anthony Davis, we had JaVale McGee, we had Dwight Howard. I've heard stories saying the perimeter players that year, you should just, if they got blown by, they would never try to reach. They would just let them go and go inside, and Dwight or JaVale or AD would clean it up, man. And then literally the following year, Lakers front office and Lakers organization, they want to move away from that defensive-minded roster, and they wanted to bring an offensive-minded team. That's when we brought in, Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, and all of them. And Frank Vogel then, literally 1 year removed after winning a championship, looked like one of the dumbest coaches, and all because his players did not match his philosophy. So I say all that to say, if we get Terry Stotts, who is an offensive-minded coach, let's make sure that our players can complement that, man. Next coach that we have here is Kenny Atkinson. So he was actually a runner-up to Darvin Ham in 2020 when we were looking at other coaches. Looking back on it, 2020 vision, I really wish we would have went with anybody but Darvin Ham. But Kenny Atkinson has a lot of experience in the NBA. He's been assistant for the Clippers, the Warriors, especially in the Warriors title run. He was an assistant for them there. So he has a lot of experience in, winning cultures. He might not be the splashiest name of all, I'm not going to lie, y'all, but he does have some familiarity in being a coach, being an assistant coach, being a head coach. So could be a solid option. Another name I've heard out there, y'all, is a name that all of Lakers Nation knows very well, and that is Phil Handy. So look, y'all, he's very well respected within the Lakers organization, but in my opinion, he's just more of an assistant coach or more of a player development coach. Like Darvin Ham, to me, he's an assistant coach. Like he should not be a head coach, and I think that's where the boat that Phil Handy also falls into. But then again, also Darvin Ham did get fired Phil Handy did get fired along with Darvin Ham, so I doubt that the Lakers would fire him just to bring him back. So I don't think that's going to happen, y'all. Next coach that I've heard here is J.J. Redick, man. And this is a real controversial one, y'all. Real controversial. J.J. Redick is just 3 years removed from being a player. He played in the NBA for, I believe, like 16 or 17 years. And his coaching resume is very little to none. I don't think he's ever had, not I don't think, I know he's never had a head coaching role in the league. I know he hasn't had an assistant role in this league, but he has a deep understanding of the game, like a deep understanding of the game, y'all. And I'm a big JJ Redick fan. I listen to the Old Man and the Three. I listen to that Mind the Game, and he has a very deep understanding of the X's and O's of the game. He's also locked in with LeBron. He has that Mind the Game podcast with LeBron. But my only thing is that, X's and O's, they don't always translate. Like, X's and O's help as a coach, but this would be his first time head coaching job. His first coaching job, period, in the NBA, head coaching or not. This would be his first coaching job in the league. And to have your first head coaching job be a Los Angeles Lakers head coach is a lot of pressure, y'all. The Lakers is, one of the most liked organizations and also one of the most hated organizations. So people love to see anybody that represents anything Lakers to fail. So they would love to see JJ Redick to fail, put a whole lot of pressure on him. And also another thing is like, they always say that quote that's like, you can have X's and O's and you can train, you can do this and you can know that. You can know how to run all these ATOs and all this and all that. But what are you going to do when you get punched in the mouth? Everything changes when you get punched in the mouth. And that's kind of how I feel about JJ Redick, right? I think he's a genius X's and O's guy. But what are you going to do when the X's and O's, it's not like that? Because it's not black and white, y'all. What are you going to do when you're, down by 20 and the other team is just going on a run over and over and over, and they have a counter for every X's and O's that you drew up, they have a counter to that. So that's my only question with JJ Redick, man. But I really do like him as a possible candidate. Next candidate that we have here is Sam Cassell. He had a long, successful NBA career as an NBA point guard. You know what they say, man. NBA point guards are usually extension of the coaches, like on-court extension of the coach. So I love to see point guards when they become coaches. I think they make that best transition. And he also won 3 championships while in the NBA. He won 2 in the 90s with the Houston Rockets, and he also won 1 in 2008 with the Celtics at the tail end of his career. He's been an assistant coach for the Wizards, the Clippers, the Philadelphia 76ers, and this year, most notably, he is the assistant coach for the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtic players always talk about how Sam Cassell is just one of those guys that you could just connect with. And I think that, part of being a coach is that, right? And for JJ Redick, we just talked about X's and O's. But I think also, part of being a coach is being able to connect with your players on a personal level, also being able to have respect of your players, them knowing that you did this before too. So, having a player like Sam Cassell who's a proven NBA vet, who's a proven NBA champion, it could be a very good, solid option here. And especially if the Celtics go on to win a championship, which they're favorited to win this year, he'll be definitely, you'll hear his name a lot more. Next coach that we have here is Mark Jackson, y'all. Played in the NBA for 17 years. Realistically built that Warriors dynasty. Steve Kerr just ended up taking over, like when they were already on top. Mark Jackson has always preached Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, one of the best shooting backcourts the world has ever seen. And he did this before everyone knew about it. Before you, me, your grandma, and your cousin, and your little brother knew about it. He's been preaching it. People used to call him crazy. It is very unfortunate he gets blackballed out of the league. And I think the reason he gets blackballed is because he's always, requires his players to like pray and always, keep Christ in the middle, which is important. And you should be keeping Christ in the middle. So shame on you, NBA, for trying to blackball Mark Jackson just for representing Jesus Christ, man. But let's keep it pushing, y'all. Next coach here that is a option is Chris Quinn. Chris Quinn is a former player, y'all. He played on the Heat, played on the Spurs, and he played on the Nets, I believe. Also, he did play for Greg Popovich, playing for the Spurs, and he's been an assistant under Eric Spoelstra for the Miami Heat since 2014. So he has been under under two of the greatest coaches. I mean, Eric Spoelstra is up there. I think right now he's the best coach in the NBA. And then Greg Popovich, you can put him as maybe GOAT coach of all time. I don't know. I have Phil Jackson, but however you may feel about it, I know Greg Popovich is at least top 3, top 4. And also Chris Quinn is definitely a well-respected coach around the league. And hey, man, if you're going to give him a chance, if you're going to give somebody a chance, I think it should be good to give the person a chance that's been under Greg Popovich and Eric Spoelstra for a long, long time, man. But let's get into the next coach here, and that is Jay Wright, former Villanova head coach. He's a 2-time national championship, won the national championship in 2016 and 18, but he did retire in 2022. A lot of people think that if he gets an NBA opportunity, he'll take it. I don't know about that because collegiate level success and NBA level success is literally two different things. Egos are different. Players are different. You have to literally have a different coaching style. So I don't know how much Jay Wright could work out, but that is an option out there. And the last option that we have out there, y'all, is David Adelman. He is the son of Hall of Famer NBA coach Rick Adelman. So coaching is definitely in his blood. He got to start with Minnesota as a player development coach, and he's worked with the Orlando Magic, and most recently he's worked with the Denver Nuggets as an assistant coach, and he was there when they won a championship, so he has a little bit of the blueprint, y'all. So David Adelman is a solid option as well. But what I want y'all to do at home, man, is let me know out of all these coaches that I listed or out of someone that I didn't list, let me know who your favorite head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers coaching head coach job would be, man. Let me know. But we at the end of the video. I told y'all what I would do, man. I told y'all I would give y'all who I want to be the head coach, and that is none other than J.J. Redick. I know some of y'all might kill me, man, talking about, John, this is his first time head coaching role, but check this out, y'all. It's like when you graduate college and you're trying to enter, the real working world, and jobs never want to give you a job because you have no experience, but you can't get experience unless someone gives you a chance and you get a job. And I know in my experience that I've gotten, someone has taken a shot on me. So why not take a shot on JJ? Why not take a shot on the man who's already locked in with LeBron James? Why not take a shot with the man who's got the X's and O's down? Now, I agree. Once you get punched in the mouth, things might change. But JJ Redick is the type of guy, he's a grinder. He's going to get through it. He's going to figure it out. And, hey, man, I just think that when you're at the bottom with Darvin Ham, you can't get any worse. So that's who I got, y'all, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a quick little video talking about all these head coaches that's been rumored out there and giving y'all who my favorite is. Once again, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to join the family to stay up to date with all type of Lakers news. And let me know in the comment section down below who your favorite Lakers head coach would be. Deuces.